Okay guys, so what I'm going to show you right here is the Eco Senior 2. Now this is one disc resurfacing machine, and I'm going to explain to you why I spent $2,000 on this machine to fix games. If you're game hunting, you're going to find some rare games. If you get those games, you want to make sure that they are in working condition, and a lot of times, guys, we find these games scratched up and non-functional. When that's the case, I really like to use this machine, and what I found is that this is really the best machine you can buy compared to anything else. Guys, don't cheapen out. Some of the games in retro gaming are worth hundreds of dollars now, and they're probably worth even more than the machine if you buy a cheap JFJ one. Now, this one typically retails for around $6,000. I was able to get it cheaper by buying a used one, and let's see how it works, guys. As you can see, I have Resident Evil Director's Cut. It does have some scratching, and a lot of times the cheaper machines don't really work well on PS1 games. So what I'm going to show you is how amazing it's going to leave this disc. So let's pop it in, close it, select DVD, go to light setting, and typically a lot of times I like to just pick the light setting, guys. I don't like to pick anything else that's harsher because the data is in the disc, and if you tear away too much of the disc, you're gonna delete the data. So typically always go with the light one. If that doesn't work, then try light again. And on PS1 games and PS2, they do tend to be sturdier, so if you want to try medium, go for it. Okay guys, once the disc machine is done, it's going to go through a couple of stages. As you see, I selected the light one so it doesn't go to the red. The red pad is for medium, the green is when you select light. Now the last step is the polishing, where it's just going to clean up the disc, make sure it doesn't have any of those nasty swirls. So guys, once it's done, I'll show you some pictures. Okay guys, the disc resurfacing process is over. As you can see, the disc looks amazing. There's a little bit of like dust, but other than that, there's no nasty swirls. A little bit of light scratches left on it, but this should be good enough. It's playable. No need to resurface it any further. And if you do see some swirls on it, you could always go to the clean polish setting and it will remove them, guys. There really is no best resurfacing machine than this for PS1 games. Now there are more expensive variants, but I feel like this is good enough for where I'm at, guys. Okay guys, let's take a look at a GameCube disc. This right here isn't playing, even though the scratching doesn't look like it's bad. As we know, GameCube discs are far more brittle. They do tend to warp if they're kept in an unfavorable temperature. And even with this machine, right, this is probably the best machine to get your GameCube games to work. And this game is Mario Kart. Now if I repair this, this is going to be about a $60 game. Well, $79 because I have the case and everything, right? But guys, right there, right? That's easy money back in my pocket. So let's see if the machine does its job. Okay guys, for GameCube games, we do need an adapter. As you can see right there, I added some double-sided tape. Now, RT Echo sells its own little tape that connects at the center ring right here. But to be cheap, I just went off Amazon, bought double-sided tape, and applied it myself. And like I said, let's see if it works after this. Now, for GameCube games, one thing you want to do is never run it on medium. Always go on light. For this one, because it doesn't look like it has much scratching, I'm going to go on the very light setting, guys. Very light. Hopefully we get this guy to work. Okay guys, once it's done resurfacing, we're going to test it out and see if we fixed it. Okay guys, like I said, it's done now. Pulled it out. Look how mint that looks. You can't even tell it's been resurfaced, besides that little bit of compound left in the center ring, which I will use a little wipe to wipe it off and clean it. Like I said guys, this is a $50 game. Well, just the disc itself. Divide that by the $2,000 that I spent. That's 40 games that I need to resurface to get back the cost of the machine. Alright guys, so let's just pop it out and test it now. There it is, Mario Kart show. And let's see if it works. Okay guys, so for the last step, let's make sure to test it. As I said, previously it did get to the start screen, but after about a minute or so, the game would just shut off and give me a disk read error. Now, one thing to know with GameCube games is that you do want to test them longer than 10 minutes to see if they work right. Okay guys, as you see, I'm getting to the start screen. I'm going to play one game, and we'll see if it still works after 10 minutes. Okay guys, it's been more than 10 minutes, and I even got a game in. As you can see, I got first place. Not so great, I took it on 50cc, but the game now works, and a while ago it didn't. So guys, this is exactly why it is a good investment to buy the RTI Echo if you're going to be resurfacing disc on a consistent basis. Like I said, $50 game here at $2,000. That's exactly 40 games. So definitely worth the investment.